Hello there. Hello, sleepyhead. How are you feeling? Good. You're just struggling to sleep? Well, I'm here to help you. I want to pamper you and make you feel safe and loved and warm. Is that okay with you? Good. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure we're all tucked in here. I tried to put on some nice purple lights for you so that it's nice and cozy. I'm going to light a little candle as well, if that's okay. I picked one out. This one. It's called Coffee Break. It's warm and welcoming with a fragrance of ground coffee mixed with coconut and toasted almond. It smells beautiful. So we're gonna light this one, okay? It doesn't do anything special, it just gently flickers on your nightstand. There's no real crackle to this one. Okay, I got shorter matches today, so we'll see if we can get this going. Here we are. Here we are. Nice and gentle. It's a really soft glow, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna set this up beside you. Okay. I'm gonna set that there. And I'm gonna put the matches beside it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I have prepared a fresh, hot pot of tea. So this here is the tea, but I've not put any tea bags in it. It's just hot water. And we're gonna pick together what tea you would like. So, I have 3 choices for you. This is choice 1. It's chamomile and honey. All natural ingredients. It's naturally caffeine free. And what does it taste like? Chamomile flowers swaying in the light breeze are a magnet for busy bees in the summer months. With just a touch of gorgeously rich honey flavour and a hint of vanilla flavour, this is a truly beautiful blend. So that's the first one. Then we have this here. This is Puka Nighttime Tea. So this is a dreamy bed of oat flower, lavender and lime flower. It says nights can be long when you most need peace. Here is nature's perfect path to restful nights and vibrant mornings. A gentle crush of oat flower, soothing lavender, and silky sweet lime flower. Let rest begin and sweet dreams follow. It uses highest grade organic herbs as well. So this is the nighttime tea. And finally we have buttermint from Twinings as well. So what does this taste like? It's caffeine free and it's a delicious harmony of peppermint leaves in all their fresh tasting glory, blended with a hint of toffee and vanilla notes for a dreamy satin soft buttermint finish. The creamy sweetness will take you back to the nostalgic flavors of a charming little sweet shop. So that's this one. Okay, so we have chamomile and honey, we have buttermint, and we have nighttime. What will we go for today? Okay, chamomile and honey it is. So we'll get our teapot. We're just going to remove the hot lid. Oh, I can smell the chamomile already. We're just going to dip that in there. Like so. And we're going to let that brew for a little moment, few minutes, and then I will pour you a cup when it looks like a good golden colour. Okay? So now we're going to have a look at your face. I've got some really nice things to pamper you with. I'm just going to give your face a really gentle wipe with this really soft microfiber cloth. It's so soft. It's like velvet. So just very gently we'll remove any dirt from the day. Like so. Okay. Okay. Alright. So we've got a couple of things. I'm going to put this on you to keep your hair out of the way, okay? I'm just gonna put this like so, okay. And then we're gonna use this self-heating mask. Okay, this is for your neck, this one. And we're gonna put it around your neck. And then we're gonna use another type of mask. So exposure to the air heats this one up. It's got little heated pouches in there. So we'll just try and heat them up first. Make sure that it's working. Okay. So I'm just going to tuck this up here. We're going to wrap that around like so. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to use this sleep mask. And I'm going to put this on onto your face. Okay. It smells deliciously of lavender, eucalyptus, vetiver, and jasmine. So it will harden up on your face. We're just going to apply like so all around you. To use a wee bit more. Okay. Alright. And we're going to set this on your forehead, which is an ice pack. Special ice pack just to help your skin regenerate. Avoids wrinkles. So we're going to set this up in here. Okay. For now, just temporarily, while we gently use this rose quartz roller to roll over your mask. Alright, just going to remove the cold mask. And we're going to gently pop some of this Dream Balm, it's like an oil, onto your hair because I'm going to give you a really gentle scalp massage, just a really gentle one. Are you? Okay. As you can see, this is a nice golden color now. So we're going to pour some into your glass. And there's your chamomile tea. So I'm going to set this up here beside you so you can help yourself at any time, okay? Alright. Now we're going to remove this mask from your face. Just ever so gently. remove your headband. Alright, but we'll keep the neck mask on. It feels very warm now. Is it warm enough for you? Okay, good. We'll keep that on. Now we're going to do a little bit of pulse points and pressure points and sprays. So I'm going to spray this on your pillow. This is a calm sleep mist of lavender, chamomile, clary sage and frankincense. Okay, so just let that diffuse into your pillow. Okay, and I also have another pillow spray called Deep Sleep Pillow Spray from This Works, and we're going to add some of that in too. There we go. I don't think this one tells you what's in it. It just smells wonderful. And then I have a few different pulse points. I'm going to use these two. We have this, and we have this. Okay. So, we can start with this. This is an inhaler stick called Sleep, and all we do is we put it at the base of your nose, so just here, and I'll do each nostril, and you just need to breathe in really deeply. So ready? 3, 2, 1, breathe in and out, and your other nostril. 1, 2, 3, breathe in and out. There we go. It smells wonderfully of lavender and it's just beautiful. Okay, we're going to do this cheerful mind balm. So it is for delighting and uplifting the spirits, and we're going to use this on your temple. And it's just sweet orange and spearmint, okay? So we're just going to mix this in here and mix this in here, okay? And then we're just going to gently massage that, like so. Okay. Now we have 2 pulse points, roll-ons. So we've got the Feather in Down for sweet dreams with relaxing roll-on with chamomile lavender. And then we have the one from This Works, which is a stress check roll-on. What would you prefer? Do you want the relaxing roll-on or the stress check? Okay, we'll do the relaxing roll-on. So we're going to put some of this in your temple as well. Behind your ear. We're just going to lift the mask up so that we can do your neck. Okay. And your wrists. And the other. Okay. And then we're just going to quickly massage that in. And on your wrists. And then I want you to just breathe out, in and out 3 times, deep breaths. So just lie like this and then breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. Alright. Well, now that we've done this, I think it's time for you to close your eyes and we will read a little bedtime story, just a really short one. I'm gonna find one for you. We're going to do the story called The Mouse, and I'm just going to come a little bit closer to you so we can read been brought up from infancy to the confines of a middle age by a fond mother whose chief solitude had been to keep him screened from what she called the coarser realities of life. When she died, she left Theodoric alone in a world that was as real as ever, and a good deal coarser than he considered it had any need to be. Here, it's easier. To a man of his temperament and upbringing, even a simple railway journey was crammed with petty annoyances and minor discords, and as he settled himself down in a second-class compartment one September morning, he was conscious of ruffled feelings and general mental discomposure. He had been staying at a country vicarage, the inmates of which had been certainly neither brutal nor bacchanalian, but their supervision of the domestic establishment had been that of a lax order which invites disaster. The pony carriage that was to take him to the station had never been properly ordered, and when the moment for his departure drew near, the handyman, who should have produced the required article, was nowhere to be found. In this emergency, Theodoric, to his mute but very intense disgust, found himself obliged to collaborate with the vicar's daughter in the task of harnessing the pony, which necessitated groping about in an ill-lighted outbuilding called a stable, and smelling very much like one, except in patches where it smelled of mice. Without being actually afraid of mice, Theodoric classed them among the coarser incidents of life, and considered that Providence, with a little exercise of moral courage, might long ago have recognised that they were not indispensable and have withdrawn them from circulation. As the train glided out of the station, Theodoric's nervous imagination accused himself of exhaling a weak odour of stable yard, and possibly of displaying a mouldy straw or two on his unusually well-brushed garments. Fortunately, the only other occupation of the compartment, a lady of about the same age as himself, seemed inclined for slumber rather than scrutiny. The train was not due to stop till the terminus was reached in about an hour's time, and the carriage was of the old-fashioned sort that held no communication with a corridor. Therefore, no further travelling companions were likely to intrude on Theodoric's semi-privacy. And yet the train had scarcely attained its normal speed before he became reluctantly but vividly aware that he was not alone with the slumbering lady. He was not even alone in his own clothes. A warm, creeping movement over his flesh betrayed the unwelcome and highly resented presence, unseen but poignant, of a strayed mouse that had evidently dashed into its present retreat during the episode of the pony harnessing. Furtive stamps and shakes and wildly directed pinches failed to dislodge the intruder, whose motto, indeed, seemed to be Excelsior, and the lawful occupant of the clothes lay back against the cushions and endeavoured rapidly to evolve some means for putting an end to the dual ownership. It was unthinkable that he should continue for the space of a whole hour in the horrible position of a rotten house for vagrant mice. Already his imagination had at least doubled the numbers of the alien invasion. On the other hand, nothing less drastic than partial disrobing would ease him of his tormentor, and to undress in the presence of a lady, even for a laudable purpose, was an idea that made his ear tips tingle in a blush of abject shame. He had never been able to bring himself even to the mild exposure of open-work socks in the presence of the fair sex, and yet The lady in this case was to all appearances soundly and securely asleep. The mouse, on the other hand, seemed to be trying to crowd a wonder jar into a few strenuous minutes. If there is any truth in the theory of transmigration, this particular mouse must certainly have been in a former state a member of the Alpine Club. Sometimes in its eagerness it lost its footing and slipped for half an inch or so, and then in fright, or probably more temper, it bit. Theodoric was goaded into most audacious undertaking of his life. Crimsoning to the hue of a beetroot and keeping an agonized watch on his slumbering fellow-traveller, he swiftly and noiselessly secured the ends of his railway rug to the racks on either side of the carriage, so that a substantial curtain hung athwart the compartment. In the narrow dressing-room that he had thus improvised, he proceeded with violent haste to extricate himself partially, and the mouse entirely, from the surrounding casings of tweed and half-wool. As the unravelled mouse gave a wild leap to the floor, the rug, slipping its fastening at either end, also came down with a heart-curdling flop, and almost simultaneously the awakened sleeper opened her eyes. With a movement almost quicker than the mouse's, Theodoric pounced on the rug and hauled its ample folds chin-high over his dismantled person as he collapsed onto the farther corner of the carriage. The blood raced and beat in the veins of his neck and forehead, while he waited dumbly for the communication cord to be pulled. The lady, however, contented herself with a silent stare at her strangely muffled companion. How much had she seen? Theodoric queried to himself, and in any case, what on earth must she think of his present posture? I think I have caught a chill, he ventured desperately. Really, I'm sorry, she replied. I was just going to ask you if you would open the window. I fancy it's malaria, he added, his teeth chattering slightly as much from fright as from a desire to support his theory. I've got some brandy in my holdall, if you'll kindly reach it down for me, said his companion. Not for the world, I never take anything for it, he assured her earnestly. I suppose you caught it in the tropics? Theodoric, whose acquaintance with the tropics was limited to an annual present of a chest of tea from an uncle in Ceylon, felt that even the malaria was slipping from him. Would it be possible, he wondered, to disclose the real state of affairs to her in small instalments? Are you afraid of mice? He ventured, growing, if possible, more scarlet in the face. Not unless they came in quantities. Why do you ask? I had one crawling inside my clothes just now, said Theodoric, in a voice that hardly seemed his own. It was a most awkward situation. It must have been, if you wear your clothes all tight, she says. But mice have strange ideas of comfort. I had to get rid of it while you were asleep, he continued. Then with a gulp he added, it was getting rid of it that brought me to this. Surely leaving off one small mouse wouldn't bring on a chill, she exclaimed, with a levity that Theodoric accounted abominable. Eventually, she had detected something of his predicament and was enjoying his confusion. All the blood in his body seemed to have mobilized in one concentrated blush, and an agony of abasement, worse than a myriad mice, crept up and down over his soul. And then, as reflection began to assert itself, sheer terror took the place of humiliation. With every passing minute that the train passed was rushing nearer to the crowded and bustling terminus, where dozens of prying eyes would be exchanged for the one paralysing pair that watched him from the farther corner of the carriage. There was one slender, despairing chance which the next few minutes must decide. His fellow traveller might relapse into a blessed slumber, but as the minutes dropped by, that chance ebbed away. The furtive glance which Theodoric stole at her from time to time disclosed only an unwinking wakefulness. I think we must be getting near now, she presently observed. Theodoric had already noted with growing terror the recurring stacks of small, ugly dwellings that heralded the journey's end. The words acted as a signal, like like a hunted beast breaking cover and dashing madly towards some other haven of momentary safety, he threw aside his rug and struggled frantically into his dishevelled garments. He was conscious of dull suburban stations racing past the window, of a choking, hammering sensation in his throat and heart, and of an icy silence in that corner toward which he dared not look. Then, as he sank back in his seat, clothed and almost delirious, the train slowed down to a final crawl, and the woman spoke. "Would you be so kind," she asked, "as to get me a porter to put me into a cab? It's a shame to trouble you when you're feeling unwell, but being blind makes one so helpless at a railway station." The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful sleep,